Did that meeting not deal with this subject?
Joy, sorry, Commissioner, I think I need to see that one.
All right, all right. Your supplementary statement.
Yes.
Paragraph 133 at page 42.
Paragraph?
133, page 42. You say you were invited to a meeting by Chief Mapie. So my question is, did that meeting not discuss the question I've just referred to, the refusal by Commissioner Mkhwanazi and all police officers falling under his command to be subjected to the vetting process?
Chair, when I was in that meeting, in one of the meetings, especially this one, I didn't stay long. So if there was a refusal to have that, I could have missed it. But one thing we agreed was that the vetting must happen, and is for the whole EMPD. I think that was my understanding. If Mr. Mkhwanazi didn't want specifically for his department division to be processed, it's highly possible. Because I remember somebody also said he called Dr. Mashazi, it's just that I'm also tired now, I can't remember everything, and complained. But when that happens, I was not even there. Because if he called Dr. Mashazi, I don't think would have allowed that, maybe he would have still done it.
Just
so
please explain
recall,
what was the call about? Please explain what was the call about?
I saw in one of the statements, Chair, where someone said, while this was being discussed, then Brigadier Mkhwanazi, the chief of, the deputy chief of police called Dr. Mashaz. And then he said after that, it won't happen. But I can't recall, I don't think I was still in the meeting when that happened. And highly possible it did happen.
That is exactly when Commissioner Mkhwanazi was allegedly refusing to be subjected to the vetting process. And he was basically appealing, allegedly, to Dr. Mashazi not to be subjected to that process. In my recollection of the testimony, that was the purpose of the call.
Yes, Chair, as I say, I did see that, but I don't think I was still in the meeting when that happened. I did see in the statements.
Can you tell me why, let me ask this question first. Did you not consider the question of the vetting of the Ekurhuleni police to be a very important subject?
It was a very important subject, Chair. Hence okay. I said...
Why did you say that, but I did not stay long? Why would you not have stayed long for such an important discussion?
I did provide a direction, Chair, and I even said, let's go and seek a legal opinion. So to me, the key issues I wanted to deal with and the understanding of the issues I've dealt with, I provided a direction and the legal opinion was sought. And as I said earlier on, even where I guided them that the letter must be drafted, you must do expungement. So my contribution was done, Chair. I can't recall where I had to go in that particular day, but I gave my full part of that meeting in advising and the way forward. And we did follow up on things that we agreed must be done.
My understanding of the testimony is that the most important issue that in all probability would have been at the top of the discussions was the very issue of the refusal of Commissioner Mkhwanazi and his team to be subjected to the vetting process. So the simple point I want to make is that I do not understand that you apparently should not be aware of that. Should have been top of the list. That was the main thing, because on my understanding, everybody else had agreed to the vetting, had been subjected to the vetting, and results had been obtained. And I've referred, you should not be aware, as you suggest you are not, that there was such an issue.
Chair, I think I did speak to it yesterday, that I saw debates happening. What I'm saying, in the meeting, I don't recall.
At which point did you see those debates?
It was on the emails.
Before this meeting?
I'm not sure if it was before or after this meeting, Chair. I think it could have been after this meeting, whereby they were saying that the data is outdated, we must start afresh, and so forth. But in that particular meeting, I could have missed it. I could have missed it. As I say, it could have happened after I left, and I thought I would have put that in my statement.
Let me conclude by making two suggestions to you, two related suggestions. I think I've already made one. One, this vetting issue relating to the alleged refusal of Commissioner Mkhwanazi and his team to be subjected to the vetting was in all probability top of the list in the discussion that was to take place. And secondly, it is very strange, I suggest to you, that you should have left the meeting, or you should, as you say, not have stayed long at that meeting when it was to discuss such a serious issue.
Apologies, sir. I did leave capable people. My team was capable. That's why even when Lefu followed up on the legal opinion, I responded there and there and said, thank you for following it up. And we continued with it. Indeed, I should have stayed until the longest time. I would have picked it up if there's a resistance. But I felt that I left a capable team, and indeed we did follow it up and make sure that we get the legal opinion. I kept on following it up, and issues of Mkhwanazi Chair are managed by a senior person who seems to be protecting Mkhwanazi, and it's really a pity that we are also seen to be.
Why was there a need for a legal opinion? I don't understand this. All other police officers have been subjected to the vetting process, and that vetting process has revealed criminality, basically, and not only criminality that was there before the police officers were employed, but criminality that was committed when some of the police officers were already employed by the municipality. That's very, very serious. Now, Brigadier Mkhwanazi or Commissioner Mkhwanazi and his team cannot be an outlier, the sort of outlier in respect of which there could not have been similar findings. So the simple point or the simple thing that should have been done was for you to direct Commissioner Mkhwanazi and his team to agree to being subjected to the vetting process. I don't understand what the legal opinion was for.
Chair, we did direct in terms of what needs to be done, and we did say that this vetting process must happen.
At what point? At what point? Because you keep referring to the legal opinion and having left a team that you had confidence in, and then you refer to the legal opinion afterwards. At what point did you direct?
In terms of the emails, on that document I shared today, I did explain, Chair, at what point I said they must conduct the process.
At what point would this have been in relation to Chief Mapia's meeting and the opinion? At what point would this direction have been? Because I believe that the direction should have been immediate. If there are allegations that they have refused to subject themselves to the vetting process, the direction should have been immediate. And surely you would remember if you did that or you did not. So it can't require you to find some document or some email to respond to the question.
Chair, we all agreed that this must happen, and it was just the process to follow.
My question is at what point? That's the
immediately,
question.
Chair. Immediately. Hence, after the legal opinion, if you saw, we quickly responded and say, let's embark on this.
So are you saying you only directed after the legal opinion?
No, before that, I said, Chair, they must go and get the issue of the consent. They must draft an expungement. They must go and check the expungement policy, how it goes. They must also categorize them into those different categories. When did you receive a legal opinion? I mean, sorry, criminal record. Was it before you were employed or after were you employed? And what was the type of the criminal activity that you were involved on? So
thank you. I will ask the question for the third time. At what point in relation to Chief Mapia's meeting did you give the direction that Commissioner Mkhwanazi and his team should subject themselves to the vetting process? I'm asking it for the first time. For the
Chair,
third,
in that meeting,
for the third time.
Yes, Chair, in that meeting, it was very clear that everybody must be subjected to a criminal record, to the vetting process. And if I recall, they already indicated that.
You are referring to a direction by you, as I understand you. Now you are saying at that meeting it was clear. I'm asking you about your direction. When did you give your direction?
In that meeting, Chair.
At that meeting you gave your direction.
Yes, then I said, Chair, in doing it, let's follow a certain process.
Yes.
That's what I said. So when I'm saying let's get a legal opinion, we all agreeing that it must be done. But there's a way of doing it. Then I said, let's get a legal opinion to see how best to do it. And hence I said, let's have categories. Well, when did you get it and so forth? Because there could be issues of fraud. Okay, I'm lacking a better word of using, I'll use fraud in terms of sometimes a person, when did you get this? Was it before you were appointed? A person, when did you get this? Was it before you were appointed or after you were appointed? Number two, what were the reasons for you to get a criminal record? So I've directed in that meeting, Chair, before I leave, that let's do this vetting.
Was it at the point of your direction that Commissioner Mkhwanazi called Dr. Mashazi?
No, I wasn't there, Chair. I wasn't there. As I say, I'm not sure when did he call Dr. Mashazi. But I agree, highly possibly it did happen. In my side, I said everybody must be vetted. All you must do, you must have a consent, and let's check who is due for expungement, and let's also get a consent. That was very clear on
That's something quite detailed, and I find it strange that you do not deal with it in your statement, which is also quite detailed on the vetting issue, or do you? The issue of the direction, and whatever else you say accompanied it. You do not say, I gave a direction that Commissioner Mkhwanazi and his team should subject themselves to the vetting process. So I'm saying that's something quite important, something quite crucial. I find it very strange that you do not mention it in your statement.
It's a pity, Chair, that it's not mentioned. As I say, other evidence I thought will be provided orally. And I think I'm trying by all means to show consistency in terms of what roles I would have played. It's something that can be re-looked at if there's a need to do that. But I was very clear in supporting that vetting must happen.
I will just say, you have a whole lot starting from paragraph 1 of your affidavit right up to the last paragraph, and you have given testimony with regard to all of those issues, except those that Mr. Chaskalson said, perhaps let us keep these for the reasons that he gave. You stated all of that in your affidavit, and you did not say, I will not state any of these because I'm going to testify on them. So I do not understand your response that you did not say this because you are going to give oral testimony on it. I just find it difficult to understand that. You may comment if you want to. Yes.
It wasn't intentional, Chair.
Yes.
As I say, as much as you try to have the statement. Remember, my first statement, it was very rushed. I think we didn't sleep that night. And then we had an opportunity when we had Dr. Mashazi's testimony to relook at.
Yes.
Otherwise, I tried my level best to show that I was supporting the process. I could have missed, you right, an important part where I was saying I gave a direction.
All
But
right,
I
then.
thought through my evidence, Chair, it will indicate that she had an interest on this.
Yeah.
Even when I said, oh, okay, we get the legal opinion, thank you. Proceed, let's move.
Thank you, thank you.
Thank you,
Ms.
Chair.
Gxasheka, thank you.
Can I just clarify something from this discussion with the chair? This meeting that you're referring to, did you know at that time, at the time of that meeting, that that Commissioner Mkhwanazi has refused that he and his people that report to him should undergo vetting?
I didn't sense that. I didn't sense that.
So
Hence
you were
I'm
not,
saying-
so you were not specifically addressing that issue of of Commissioner Mkhwanazi and his people refusing to go for vetting. You were not specifically
I
addressing that.
was addressing the issue of everybody that has been identified to have gone, who's supposed to go vetting, and I was saying people must go for vetting.
Yes.
The specifics I can't recall, but
So it wasn't about